Hello, welcome. I'm so excited to be back here today. March is officially over, which means graduation and the end of the semester are quickly approaching. Some of us are lucky enough to have gotten jobs or internships far away from our families, while others of us get to live the college dream of living back at home. Say goodbye to those 3-day weekend benders because for the next 4 months, you'll be asking yourself what you're actually doing with your life. It seems the only texts we'll be getting this summer are from our grandparents asking us, why don't we have a girlfriend or a boyfriend yet? But good luck telling your sweet old grandmother those details about your past situationships. I swear, grandparents just don't understand how hard dating is in today's society. They would never understand going home with someone after a night out just to realize the next morning they may have been a Skeeps 10, but are barely a Ricks 5. I mean, let's talk about dating in a college town. There's nothing worse than going out with your friends who have no idea how flirting works. We'll go out to a bar and all of a sudden I'm hearing about how God put him and this girl in the same place together and the chemistry is undeniable. I'll bite and ask, what led him to this conclusion? Only for him to tell me they maybe made eye contact for a split second, and by the time he looks back, he can't remember which one of the 4 blonde girls in a huddle it was. But as the good friend that I am, I of course told him I'd wingman him on his quest for love at 1 a.m. in the dark, musty Ricks basement. Because I mean, where else are you gonna find someone to date on this campus? But you know what? My bigger issue is the people who once made such a huge deal about how gross frats are now the ones waiting in 3-hour lines every Thursday night just to pay for the same experience. I mean, tell me, what separates a frat basement and Ricks? They both play the same 5 songs on a loop to the point where I can't even hear Fiend anymore without instantly getting a hangover. They're both dark, gross, wet, and full of frat guys. I truly think people on this campus are just masochists because people will be flexing about how long they've waited in line. Like, no, Stevie, waiting in line for 3.5 hours only to go into Ricks and put up 15 head nods, 40 dap-ups, and maybe a hello to a woman is not a win. But back to someone who had a genius plan to break that cycle. The plan in question was to not approach them, but simply get close enough to them where they could overhear us. Now, since he couldn't remember which girl it was, he was convinced his soulmate would be so stimulated by our conversation that she would have no choice but be the one who approached us. Now, there happened to be many flaws to this plan, but the biggest one happened to be the sound level. The only way anyone was hearing our conversation was if we were to be standing smack dab in the middle of their dance circle and screaming like Billy on the street. Now, accordingly, my friend was hammered and wanted to go through with this plan, so who was I to deny this love story? The moments come when we've positioned ourselves in a prime location and we start gabbing, and we have one of the greatest conversations I've ever had. This was a debate for the centuries, that anyone who was in earshot would be magnetized to us. And lo and behold, I kid you not, one of the pack of 4 saunters up to my friend, whispered in his ear, and then walks away. I was blown away. This man had actually done it. The only confusing part to me was why his face had dropped. Well, it turns out the girl leaned into his ear, whispered, "You guys look so cute together," and then promptly exited. What he had failed to account for was that the music was so loud, we had to keep leaning in and talking to each other's ears, and the conversation was so good that we couldn't stop smiling and laughing. After a moment of confusion, I leaned back into Stevie and kissed him tenderly. She was right. We do look cute together. Now, let's get back to graduation. I'm a senior, and I've got to say I'm going to miss Ann Arbor. I mean, you just can't get over what it has to offer. The great restaurants, the amazing boober rides, shout out Steve, and of course, being the home of the greatest university in the world. Nothing can beat it. I think I'll even miss the diag preachers, the frigid walks to class, and even maybe the M-bus. Nothing like going to North Campus on a Tuesday afternoon just to get your face squished against the window because the bus driver decided to brake check a cyclist. Well, as I stand here in the cold basement of North Quad, I'd like to send a big congratulations to the graduation of class of 2024. We did it. We finally can go step on that glorious M and be free from the shackles of these Michigan winters. But stick around. We've got a great show for you all tonight. Highlighting student orgs this week, I'll be joined by Music Matters member Rowan O'Connor to discuss campus tunes, live music, and of course, all the happenings of SpringFest. As well as Tyler Sholtis, stand-up comedy member, presidential alumni, and editor-in-chief of the Satire newspaper every 3 weekly, who will be performing something so hilarious you won't want to miss. And finally, we're joined by Ann Arbor's very own indie rock band Luna Pier. We are here to perform their hit song, Living While Asleep. And as always, my name is Christian Sauer, and welcome to After Hours. Okay. Let's get tonight's show on the road. Ladies and gentlemen, Put your hands together for just an all-around great guy. It's Rowan O'Connor. Yes. Welcome to After Hours. We're here to talk about all things music, live music, and even some personal projects you're working on right now. Yesterday was SpringFest, an event put on by your club, Music Matters. I'd love for you to run us through what went through that in that process and how it went, and any bands that you particularly enjoyed.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, thanks so much for having me on After Hours. Christian, we go back to my first semester here on campus, so it's good to be talking with you again. Yeah, so SpringFest is a music festival, and we call it a lifestyle festival, but what does that really mean nowadays? Where we bring in a stage, we bring in a bunch of dance groups, a cappella groups, and then of course the bands in the evening. And we just have a ball for like a day on State Street in North University. We close down the streets. This year we were right outside of the State Theater. We were right in front of like Sweet Green, Walgreens, like all those businesses, and it was just a really special location to have permission to use this year. You asked about bands, some of my favorites. We had some new ones I hadn't personally seen this year. The Third Degree, more of a heavier rock band, they were great. They were so good, and I hope I get to see them again sometime. Ann Arbor Classic, VUP, so talented. They were great. They closed out for us last night, and they had the whole crowd dancing. It was very special to see.
Yeah, I got to be lucky enough to go and catch VUP at the end of the day.
I think I saw you there.
my good friend Adam is the trumpet player.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, and my friend Gabe got to sing a little bit, and that was really fun to watch. They were incredible. Great stage presence. Ari, the lead singer, is incredible. Were there any bands that you hadn't got to see before that you saw? You said Third Degree. Anyone else that you really enjoyed?
Yeah, North Ingles band. They were. I was blown away by everyone, but especially the new people I hadn't seen before. North Ingles was great. They're kind of a jazzier, and they're a 7-piece group, so a bit larger size, and they were like so well put together. The groove was so good. Like they were just excellent.
Did you have
Super
any?
Fun.
When you were planning the whole event, like, did you run into any obstacles along the way? Like, as someone who plans events myself, there's always new things you don't even know what's going to come the day of show. Like, anything that went on, like, in the planning process of it? Any big stories?
My mind is already going. We ran into so many different things. First of all, the biggest thing was definitely the permits. Like, we needed 3 different permits. One to close down the streets and throw it's called a special events permit. The other is for a generator of a certain size, a certain capacity that needs a permit, and then the third is for the stage, temporary structures. Working with the city of Ann Arbor, like they're great, but there's a lot of bureaucracy that needs to happen and a lot of lead time before things actually get approved. And so just being that we're a student organization and we're not full-time working on these events, like it can be really tough to make sure that all happens on time with enough time in advance to really be comfortable. It always feels like everything's coming together last minute. Yeah. Other unexpected things, we had a bit of a mix-up with so this year Amazon Prime did a student lounge, a VIP lounge, and we had a little bit of a mix-up with how the stage was being assembled. So they got there right at first thing in the morning, 6 a.m., started setting things up, and then the stage actually had to come in, and we didn't realize that they would need to actually move, like disassemble everything to put the stage in. So that was a huge bother. But it's show business. It's about like thinking on your feet, right? So it was always just like, okay, let's not freak out, let's not panic. Like, what can we do to just make this happen?
Yeah, it's awesome. Would you say the day was an overall success?
The day was a huge success. People came out like in big numbers. We knew it was going to be a nice day, Sunday, and people have the day off, but we were really impressed by the turnout, actually, and that was a big relief for me personally to see because I've been planning this since like October.
Yeah.
So to see people finally come, show up, and like enjoy the event was just a huge weight off my chest.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
And tonight you guys have Alexander 23 playing, right?
We do, in the Michigan Theater. It's actually getting started right about now. And Hemingway Land, another band we've worked with before, is opening for Alexander.
What was the process in terms of selecting those acts? Like what went into kind of assessing what was going on here?
Well, Hemingway Land, we'd actually talked for a while about having them perform again at SpringFest. They did it last year, and then we realized that maybe we had another opportunity for them and a new opportunity to actually open for our headliner. Alexander 23 has kind of a special connection to Michigan, and so in sifting through the different lists from the talent agencies, we kind of gravitated towards his name. A lot of people in our club actually really enjoy his music, and so they were really fighting hard to have him picked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what song are you looking forward to most to listen to tonight for his concert?
I'm probably looking most forward to I Don't Know You Yet, or IDK You Yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's his biggest song for sure. It's the one I've heard the most. And I'm actually very looking forward to him covering other artists, because he's started out as a songwriter and a producer, so he's worked with a lot of people like Renee Rapp.
Yeah.
And so he's gonna cover some of other music.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know I'm pretty sure he worked with Olivia Rodrigo on Guts.
He did. Yeah. He works with, I think, Jeremy Zucker a lot too. He writes for a lot of different people, honestly.
That's an awesome artist to have. And so that's great that you've been working on all that stuff, but anything that you've personally been working on lately that you want to talk about? Any personal projects?
Yeah, sure. I mean, as a film and TV student here, I've been working on a couple different projects through Wolf, actually. So one, I'm one of the producers on Action, our other like entertainment show at Wolf. That's been super fun, doing a lot of like YouTube-y style content, similar to the videos that like Cut or Jubilee puts out. Just a lot of like social question, discourse like types of videos. Then I have a couple projects going on for FTVM 300. We're doing a film called A Matter of Consequence. I directed it. We produced a couple of weekends ago, and now it's in the edit room, and hopefully for those who go to Lightworks, they'll be able to check it out there.
That's awesome. And with all these projects, music or film, what has drawn you to making and creating things? And do you have any advice for anyone who's creating themselves or starting to create?
I always thought that one way or another, I want my life's work to kind of be making things, building things, creating things. And I wasn't always sure what form that was going to take. You know, for a while I was kind of entertaining like engineering. I was entertaining like, you know, software development, computer science, something like that, making projects that way. And then I kind of gradually gravitated to entertainment. As for my advice to other people, I think I would just say not to be too hard on yourself. Me personally, I find it pretty difficult to actually like my own work, just because of how critical I think I am internally. And I think when other people see what you do, they're not gonna look at it the same way, and they can really appreciate and enjoy it. So I would say just take it easy on yourself. You know, your projects aren't always gonna be perfect, but other people will enjoy them, and I can count on that.
All right, awesome. Well, Rowan, it was great having you on here today. I'm sorry to have to cut you off this short, but it's been awesome. And we all appreciate what you do with Music Matters. It's great getting to see those concerts in SpringFest. We can't wait to see what you do in the future. But we'll be right back. But first, please give a huge round of applause for Luna Pier.
Walk through all the funny places in my head to see where they can go. To all this time I realize that I already know how to twist and turn and shout. Instead of going with the flow, how we sink and drown regardless. While you pull me down low, take some time to see that you believe in me. All that you can be, living while I'm you turn back into fear. Take some time to see that real love comes soon. Product of your mind and all that you consume. Break each other's hearts.
Introducing Tyler Sholtis.
Hi, hello everyone. I hope you guys are all having a pretty decent end of the semester. I'm a senior, so things are kind of wrapping up for me. Not my girlfriend though, because she is doing a PhD program. She's doing her master's and her PhD in aerospace engineering. It's very cool, and I'm very proud of her for doing that. It's just interesting to kind of figure out the differences between like my undergrad experience and what she is going through right now. So like for me personally, I took the most general classes that I could take my entire undergrad because it's just the easiest that you can do. I mean, like, the more general class, the better. Like I took a class my sophomore year about the Roman Empire. And first off, let's just get this out of, full of racists. I think they like breed them there. Like, if you want to see the most Turning Point USA stickers you've ever seen in your entire life, go to a discussion for the Roman history. It's awesome. But that's a lot of time, right? That's 15 weeks. And I'm no expert. I didn't do well in the class, but the Roman Empire was around for like at least 200 years. And that's like, you can't fit all of that into 15 weeks. So like all of my essays for that class would be something along the lines of like, there was an emperor and he was not liked, and then there was a war, and then there was a new emperor and the people liked him a little bit more. And I'd earnestly hand that into a professor and he'd be like, okay, that's decent enough, C-. I'm like, okay, cool, thank you. I'll get on my way. That's not to say though that every class is easy. I think there's a general idea, especially among STEM people, that all like liberal arts classes are easy. I've taken some pretty difficult classes. I'm in this class right now called the History of Milk. Which you think, like, I saw that listed and I was like, that's a layup. I mean, look at me. Like, this guy eats a lot of cereal. I thought that this was going to be like a walk in the park, right? I know all the kinds, right? Skim, soy, I got that. Even the weirder ones, macadamia, cashew. I thought that this was just going to be total cakewalk. Not so much. It's the hardest class that I've ever taken in my entire life. First day, Lucky Charms isn't even mentioned on the syllabus, by the way. I was really screwed. I think, I know that I'm not a smart person, but I don't think my girlfriend knows that, or at least I don't think that she wants to admit to herself the idiot wagon that she's decided to hitch herself to. No, so she has very specific classes. She's in a class called Fuel right now, and she tries to rope me into discussion about things that she's talking about in her class. So like the other day she came home, she was talking, and she was like, oh, you know, today in Fuel I learned why we use certain fuel grades. And I was like, oh yeah, well, why is that? And she's like, okay, well, you know how an engine works, right? And I was like, I'm gonna stop you right there. No, I don't. I did not know there were gonna be prerequisites to this conversation. I probably would have done my reading a little bit more if I did. I'm not equipped to talk about this conversation. You want to talk about milk? I can talk about milk. I know that pretty well. But yeah, that's my time, guys. Thank you for having me. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that.
Just so funny, Tyler. Now, I need your help here with a little game we like to call Blabbermouth. Here's how it works. Each player will have 3 wacky phrases they must read to one another. The twist is we must wear these mouthpieces when speaking to each other. Each opponent will have 30 seconds to guess the phrase before it is officially revealed to them. The player with the most correct guesses wins. Tyler, would you like to start?
Oh, you betcha. Yeah, I'm so ready. All right, here we go.
Wow, you're really good at putting that in there, man.
Okay, that's a little bit insulting. Okay. Number 1. Christian put a pickle in my eye.
Christian put a pickle in my eye?
You're close. You're right on the money, buddy. It's Christian put a pickle in my thigh.
Your thigh. Christian put a pickle in my thigh.
Thigh.
Your thigh?
Thigh. Pickle. Thigh.
You're saying I'm hearing pickle and high right now.
That's not what I'm saying though. It's Christian put a pickle in my thigh. Hey, like, thingy you like. High. Smells good.
My nose doesn't work, so this is not working for me.
Okay.
Christian put a pickle in my. It smells good. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hive, not hive. Smells good. Like I'm thinking like cookies right now, but.
Yeah, you're close. I don't even know what I can say anymore. Okay.
All right, moving on.
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
That one.
Okay. Oh, this is gonna be worse. Okay. Perfectly Hochhorn.
A perfectly tossed.
No, already wrong.
Okay, perfectly is the first word.
Perfectly.
Right? All right, get next word.
Perfectly hot.
Hot.
Hawk, you guys. Hawked Herschel Hawkhorn.
Perfectly popped kernel popcorn.
Herschel.
Purple?
There
Perfectly
you
popped
go.
purple popcorn. Let's
Yeah,
go!
Okay.
That's one.
I hear keeps eating and makes me nuts. Yeah, okay, get that
I
one through
heard
you.
teacher and nuts.
No,
I don't know.
I hear keeps eating and it makes me nuts. All right, so you got that.
It makes me nuts. Is the
Yeah.
Okay, go back to
her.
My
Yeah, you got that one. Yeah.
my blank. I'm only missing one word, right?
Her keeps eating. It's the same
Keeps
word with an
eating.
ing. So her keeps eating.
My teacher.
No,
My
not that
sister?
one. No, that would be weird. It's an, I don't know what I can say. It's an action. Her keeps eating.
My lemur keeps eating.
Oh yeah, that's close. But no, actually, it's not at all. What can I even say? Can I say like it's close to something? I guess not. Her keeps eating. I feel like I'm saying this really clear. I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm doing as much as I can.
This is good. I'll take the loss on that one.
Okay.
All right, can you take the? It's my turn to talk at it now. So
Okay.
read me what I got wrong.
Oh, okay, perfect. So it was Christian put a pickle in my pie. Because that's a normal ingredient. So you should have got. My beeper keeps beeping and it makes me nuts. Because they wrote this in the 90s when that was still like popular. Because that's a thing.
You don't have a beeper?
I don't have a beeper. I'm not a drug dealer. I'm sorry. I can hook you up with a guy though. Don't tell my mom that. Don't show that. You guys can cut that, right? Okay.
All right, well, we'll take care of that.
Okay,
All right,
cool,
you
man.
ready?
Yes. Oh, I'm so ready.
All right.
I can't wait. I got the idea. It's B's and P's. I think I got it. No.
All right. The donkey ucked on.
The donkey walks around?
Nuh-uh.
Oh, I was so close.
The donkey ucked on.
Oh boy. Man, can I phone a friend? Okay. Yeah. It walks. Okay. Talks. Puts.
Think out the hard letters to say.
Okay.
Ucked.
Looked.
Ucked.
B is booked.
Ucked.
Backed.
Ucked. Ucked.
Bucked.
Yeah.
Bucked. Bucked. By. Bucked.
And close.
Bucked. B.
The donkey ucked.
Bucked.
My.
My.
Like related to me.
Oh, your butt.
No.
Oh, man, that would've been- man, that
No,
would've been
related.
great.
Like not as in I.
Your bud?
No. Like what?
Wow.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go
I'm sorry.
again.
I can't quickly hot these loons.
I can't quickly pop these balloons.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
man,
Let's go.
wow. What just a layup by Tyler.
Okay. Donald Trump auntie.
Donald Trump haunts me. He does to me too every day. Doesn't he to all of us?
Donald Trump.
Okay. 45th president of the United States. Yes. Yes.
See, like auntie, not sexual.
Yeah. Okay. He doesn't want you.
He auntie.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you said that.
Hard letter to say again.
Got it.
Next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bought.
No. Aunt.
Bunt.
Donald Trump. Like like Donald Trump. Like
Yeah. I know. Yeah. Build the wall. I guess. Donald Trump. Big. Bozo.
No. Aunt.
Bonked.
Close. Like Donald Trump's like
Oh, bumped.
Yes.
Bumped. Okay.
Yeah, Donald Trump.
Bumped you?
Yeah.
Donald Trump bumped me.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's go.
All right. That's huge.
That was awesome. All right, Tyler wins the game then. Thank you for coming on today. That was so much fun. But that's all we have for tonight. You've been an amazing guest, and everyone else here tonight has been awesome. Thank you, of course, to Dexter and his amazing band, Luna Pier. Go stream their music now on all platforms. Thank you to Rowan. Be sure to stay tuned for what Rowan and All of Music Matters has to offer. And thank you, Tyler. Go support and stand-up events and grab a copy of every 3 weekly. They're great, I promise. After all, we love our student organizations on campus, and you, the students, should go and support them. I'm Christian, and it is officially after hours, so let's go to bed. Thank you and good night.
Whoa.